the CEO discovered that his ex-girlfriend from their breakup 4 years ago was still driving that beat-up old electric car. He immediately signaled his assistant to deliberately crash into it with his Rolls-Royce. The girl, who had been focused on driving, suddenly felt a jolt. When she got out to check, she realized she had collided with a luxury car worth millions. Thinking it was her fault, she prepared to apologize to the owner. To her surprise, the person stepping out of the luxury car was the ex-boyfriend she had once dumped. The CEO then casually tossed her a brand new car key. She saw it was for a Maybach worth over $1 million. Stunned, she couldn't understand why he was giving her a car. But the CEO lied, saying his assistant had accidentally rear-ended her. He claimed the car was compensation for the damage. In truth, the CEO thought her old car was too unsafe. He had intentionally arranged for his assistant to wreck it so she would get a new one. Even though they had broken up 4 years ago, he still remembered every detail of their journey from campus to the real world. Afterward, the CEO had his assistant personally drive the girl home. Once they arrived, he quietly noted her apartment number. He then ordered his assistant to find another unit on the same floor within a week, whether by renting or buying. Not only that, he also found out the girl was interning at a certain company. So, he went ahead and acquired the entire company, instantly becoming her new boss. The next day, the unsuspecting girl arrived at work, and heard colleagues say the new boss was coming for an inspection. She immediately went out to greet him. Unexpectedly, she bumped right into the CEO. She was so embarrassed she wished the ground would swallow her up. Then, her supervisor introduced him as the new boss. To her shock, the CEO immediately appointed her as his personal assistant. The girl felt dizzy and almost fainted. She thought it was her ex-boyfriend's way of getting back at her, unaware that it was all his carefully planned way of getting close to her. He still had the violet tattoo she liked on his arm, and he had kept the glasses she gave him 4 years ago. The CEO specifically called her over, hoping she would notice he had kept her gifts and be touched. Instead, the girl inwardly complained, thinking that the richer he got, the stingier he became. Wanting to avoid further involvement, she offered to resign, but the CEO cited company policy, stating that a secretary must submit a resignation notice 30 days in advance, and cooperate with legal procedures, or it would be considered a breach of contract. The penalty for breach would be a compensation of $430,000 to the company. The girl could tell he was deliberately making things difficult for her, so she threatened to report him to the labor authorities. Unexpectedly, the CEO wasn't afraid and even leaned closer, daring her to beg him. At that moment, she felt her heart racing wildly. Memories of their past intimacy involuntarily flooded her mind. Deep down, she had never truly gotten over him, but the reason she had left him back then was that his mother looked down on her for coming from a poor family, and had secretly arranged for him to marry a wealthy heiress from a similar background. At first, she refused to believe their 4-year relationship could be abandoned so easily, but when she went to the bridal shop as his mother had suggested, she actually saw another woman standing beside him, picking out a wedding dress. In that moment, she mistakenly thought he had changed, and she broke up with him on the spot, but she never found out that woman was actually his sister-in-law. It was all a scheme orchestrated by his mother to break them up. In the end, the couple became complete strangers due to this misunderstanding. Snapping back to reality, the girl immediately pushed the CEO away and fled.